out. That's
Right,
But
right.
what I wanted to ask you, I didn't mean to interrupt that thought, but roofs, do you do a roof inspection, or do you recommend that a licensed roofer be brought in to do that part of the inspection?
That's a great question. I always do inspect the roof. Now, there's some roofs I don't walk on if they're too steep and unsafe, but for the most part, I always do a roof inspection. And so I'll get up on the roof and walk around, look at all the roof flashings, look at all the vents where they come through, and, look at the overlaps, look at just every single aspect of the roof.
Oh, so you do
I'm
make
going
an
to check
opinion.
out from on the roof, and of course, when I'm on the roof, if you have a brick chimney, you need to test it with, by pushing on it. It was kind of a debatable thing. Oh my God, is the inspector going to break the chimney? Well, they say,
off the roof.
yeah, the famous they say that if you can move a chimney, you can't break a chimney. You're not supposed to be able to be breaking them. So, I see if it moves, and if it moves, there's a good chance it's going to be broken. Sometimes it's obvious. You move the chimney, and it just goes shk boom,
Wow.
shk boom, and so right away the chimney needs to be repaired. But that brings up another issue because
we
now
have chimney
you have to have the chimney person come out, but. With chimneys nowadays, you're not looking at just simply, hey, let's replace the brick chimney, because the air quality people have got these rules now, and the building departments, the authorities having jurisdiction, so to speak, which are the building departments, may not let you just repair a wood solid fuel burning fireplace. They will make you maybe convert it. So inspectors have to watch out. We can't just say, get someone out and repair this broken chimney, because you need to get the permits for it, and then you may be required to convert it to gas only.
Let me ask one quick question in terms of your industry. We've had a number of guests on the show, Todd, in different parts of the real estate industry. Is your industry, are you regulated? Do you need a contractor's license to do the property inspections? Is there some kind of board that regulates what you do? And how does a person select a property inspector to do a job?
That's a great question. In California, you basically have absolutely no license requirements at all. So you basically, I don't see how you would get hired if you weren't a member of some sort of a group. Like the main thing for me is I'm a member of the American Society of Home Inspectors, ASHI.
Okay.
And there's other inspectors that are members of CREA. Some are members of CREA and ASHI. And those are the two main organizations that I like and that I'm associated with. And so, I belong to a group, the Silicon Valley ASHI CREA chapter. And as inspectors, we all meet together once a month, and there's speakers, and so you're constantly learning. ASHI makes you go to continuing education courses. So we're always learning, and the real estate agents that hire us want to know, well, what's your credentials?
Right.
So if you're associated with a group like ASHI, that's your credential. Also, if you've done a whole lot of inspections for other agents, and you can tell them about that, and they can call and say, do you like this guy?
Right.
So you have to have a reputation, a good reputation, and it's good to belong to a major trade organization.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And I understand you also have a background as a licensed contractor as well.
Right, I'm a licensed contractor too.
That's a nice compliment. To
everybody, and that's true. I'm glad I have it. I don't want to, negate it. But for me, it's like, when I was a contractor and then when I became a home inspector, it's so completely different. The skills you have to be a home inspector. I mean, of course, it's not completely different, but you can't just go out there as a contractor. You start looking at things that really aren't that important. Crown molding doesn't look quite right. So the mentality of a home inspector is a lot different.
Well,
I had to learn that when I started.
What's the cost of a home inspection? What's it run?
Well, my cost is any house below 1,500 square feet, 1,500 square feet or below is $450 is what I charge. Okay. And so it just goes up the higher they get, although I'm lowering my prices because I'm scared. I don't want to scare people off when I go into the 5s or too high into the 4s. So,
but I imagine
the economy is such that and also my pricing, because I own my company, basically I can just decide whatever it is. And so,
I imagine after your inspection becomes a detailed report for review that buyers and sellers look at. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have a written report. It's a narrative style report with photographs. I take my camera everywhere. I take, probably 110 pictures at least, or, approximately of everything in the house. And all the problems I take pictures of, but I only include the photos that I think are going to be meaningful and that where, especially in the sub-area, crawl spaces or in the attics or on the roof, where no one can see them, I'll usually put quite a few pictures of those conditions in, you know.
Well, good. Well, we've learned a lot about home inspections this afternoon and what you do, and appreciate you stopping by to talk with us about that. Are there any last thoughts you have about the home inspection process, or things that folks really ought to be thinking about, maybe long-term maintenance on their home? Maybe they bought their home a while ago.
That was my question. You stole it. Good for you. I was
There's a lot of maintenance things that are incredibly important. One of the things that's that home inspectors that we have, one of the problems that comes up with reports that are sort of difficult issues sometimes are what is a major and what is a minor thing. And they always want to know, well, do we have to get this done, or is this just a Section 2 type thing, something that's not quite that significant.
Okay.
And like to me, basically everything is significant. Even, you know, clearing the debris from the gutters, that should be done. If you don't, they can get clogged, they can overflow, water can get behind on the fascia, start rotting them out, back up into the eave sheathing and rot it out. And even the most minor things like caulking on the floor where it meets the tub. I mean, it sounds nitpicky to say that needs to be done, but if you don't do it, it can be, you know, $20,000 later, your tile floor is rotted out. And if you had only had that caulking done, nothing would have happened maybe. So
you're pointing out preventative things that people can...
Preventative things, yeah, like, you know, clean the gutters, make sure the downspouts are clear and they're not terminating at, you know, you want all that runoff water from the roof to go as far away from the perimeter of the house as you can. And all kinds of things, and then the caulking at various bathroom areas especially.
Very good.
You know, that kind of thing.
Very good.
Yeah.
We are getting the high sign. So we're going to have to close this part of the show, and then Todd and I will come back, and we'll talk about mortgage rates, and I'll do an update on the Milpitas home market locally. Dave, folks, again, how can they reach you if they want to hire you for a home inspection or have questions?
They can just please give me a call at 650-595-2055 and email me at davekaufman@comcast.net. Kaufman with 2 N's at the end.
Great, Dave. That was amazing.
That was thank
Todd,
you.
thanks. Unbelievable. Thank you.
Thanks. Very nice meeting you.